FM, KZCT, OzCat Radio. It's Vallejo Project. Good morning, 70 degrees outside, and a little overcast day here in Vallejo. No matter where you're heading out this morning, whether it's down to the city, downtown, off to the ferry, or parts unknown, we welcome you to the Vallejo Project Radio. And we have our special guest here this morning, Adjoa, our fearless leader and founder of Vallejo Project.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. And
she's so glad to be here with you, Hugh. It's wonderful to see you do your thing.
Well, it's our thing here. We're here, Vallejo Project. We're not only here to give you some news and views and some updates on what Vallejo Project's been all about, and we've been doing this summer, but also talk about ways that you out there in the listening community can be part of what we're doing with Vallejo Project, and also what's happening out here in the greater Vallejo area that you can participate and volunteer in. So, Adjoa, you are back from some amazing journeys, but first tell the kids out there a little bit about what Vallejo Project is all about.
So, Vallejo Project is here to make sure that people have a sense of community. We have artists and builders and teachers that work together to create a sense of community that helps people grow from the inside out. And we truly believe that there's space for each and every person to engage with us. The idea that we are creating a mosaic out of all of the broken pieces of who we are, to make something beautiful. So we have the value of servant leadership, and our focus is to help people find some skill that they can be good at and build a self-confidence in, to prioritize wellness, and to articulate that wellness into the world. So that often looks like pathways towards career opportunities. It often looks like finding your passion. People generally find a mentor in a profession that they're passionate about that helps to guide and walk them through the pathway of finding their dream and making their dreams come true. So that's a little bit about who we are, and we'd love for you to check out our website at www.vallejoproject.org and find a way for you to intern with us. There are paid and unpaid internships. You engage with students from Thoreau University, Berkeley University, local middle and high schools as well. So we're very, very excited to be collaborating with OzCat Radio by sharing about what we do and what's going on in our community. Thanks, you.
Well, it's a great collaboration. We've already had one of our student leaders come in and DJ, and that's Sydney. She took over for a couple of shows, and that's just showing in real time how we're taking members of the community, young members of the community, and acclimating them towards media and being able to reach out to the community at large. And Sydney's interesting because she is a native Vallejoan, whose family dates all the way back to the early days of when the shipyards were here. Her grandparents, both of them, worked in the shipyards during World War II. So we do have a lot of native Vallejoans, if you will, that participate in Vallejo Project and have deep roots here in the community.
And such a diverse group of people. I know Katie Cornell also was, her grandmother came here as from Ireland as an immigrant. And, just this ancient, this not ancient, but this for America, and which is so young, it is a really grounded rooting in people that are from here, from the Philippines, from Ireland, from the African experience in America, the African American plight here, that all tell the story. And that's what I love about this town. And hopefully you hear the kitty having fun behind us, scratching. But this is a rich city, and that diversity is seen as a strength here in this city, where often in America it isn't. And I really love that about this town, that we value that.
There's a lot of interesting things when you go down to either over at the Mare Island, when you go over to the brewery, You see some of the vintage photos that they have there of the shipyards, or even if you do, if you Google that, the Mare Island shipyards from World War II and the Rose de Riveter era, and you see the photos of the workers, totally diverse, and it really shows you that the Vallejo community has been diverse for decades, and it's a rich tradition of that here, of people not from various cultures all coming together in a melting pot to be Americans first, and working towards a goal. Now, of course, in the legacy, it was wartime, but now that we're in the modern era, there's still that feeling of diversity, which begets a strength within a whole community. And really, Vallejo is an example of that, and a great example not only to the rest of the Bay Area, but to the country at large.
Absolutely.
The most diverse city.
That's
in
right.
America.
Woo!
We've earned that badge.
Yeah.
So wear that proudly out there. We've got a lot to talk about here in the show today. One of the things, just wanted to do a shout out to all the kids this weekend. They were all out at the big Grateful Dead show, or Dead End Company show, the final tour. We shall see about that. But all the Deadheads were out there in all their fine regalia. A shout out to Random McEwen, old friend of mine. We were in a band together called Wages of Sin. We might hear a cut from that later. And he was out in all his Dead regalia. So all the folks out there were rocking and rolling to Dead for 3 big nights out there in San Francisco. And once again, a musical entity that came out of here to the Bay Area. We've got plenty of them here from Vallejo. But let's take a quick jaunt into the deep, dark past. And if you were rocking out this weekend, here's a little taste to remind you of all the fun, because we'll be trucking.
Trucking, got my chips cashed in, keep trucking, like the do-dog man together, more or less in line, just keep trucking on. Arrows of neon and flashing marquees out on Main Street, Chicago, New York, Detroit, and it's all on the same street. A typical city involved in a typical daydream. Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings. Dallas, got a salt machine. Houston, too close to New Orleans. New York, got the ways and means, and just won't let you be. Most of the cats that you meet on the street speak of true love. Most of the time they're sitting and crying at home. One of these days they know they gotta get going, out of the door and down to the street all alone. Trucking like a doodah man once told me, you got to pay your hand. Sometimes the cards ain't worth a dime if you don't lay them down. Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. to travel. Get tired of traveling, you wanna settle down. I guess I can't revoke your soul for trying. Get out of the door, light out and look all around. Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me. What a long, strange trip it's been. Trucking, I'm going home. Whoa, whoa, baby, back where I belong. Back home, sit down and catch my bones and get back trucking. Home, 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 home.
Oh, they were trucking all right there at Oracle Park. I'll tell you, it was pretty wild. A lot of fun out there, and a lot of fun in here. So, speaking of Bay Area music, we are going to have a brand new DJ here on OzCat Radio. In fact, my co-host Sydney now has graduated quite quickly up to her own radio show coming up next month. So it'll be on Thursdays, every other Thursdays, I believe 6 to 9.
Yep.
So primetime slot, you'll be getting some groovy tunes from Sydney. She did a great job here on the morning show and is right up there right now. Going to be coming at you on every other Thursday night in August. So how quickly you can jump into the mix here by being part of Vallejo Project. You never know where you're going to end up.
That's such a good point. Really, often just walking out the door. What is it that was said in Lord of the Rings? You never know what's going to happen to you when you walk outside your door. And so when you're involved in a community of talented, passionate people, communities like Obtainium Works, communities like all of these other amazing original groups, Faith Food Fridays, you just never know what opportunity is going to come your way. And so Vallejo Project is so honored to add its shoulder to the wheel of justice and healing and health here in Vallejo. So we're really excited to be on OzCat and to be working here in Vallejo.
Yes, indeed. So speaking of, you never know where Vallejo Project is going to take you. Adjoa, you were just on an amazing journey halfway around the world. What were you doing in Africa?
I have loved Africa my whole life. My parents met each other in Africa in '69, and they named me Adjoa and my brother Kweku, which were local names. They're kind of day names from Africa, and it means girl born on Monday. If you go to Ghana, which is, it's a Twi, or mine is Fanti kind of spelling of Adjoa, you will hear people in the marketplace saying, Sister Adjoa, Mama Adjoa, Grandma Adjoa, come buy my yams, because it's such a common name and it's the first day of the week. So it's like more common than Sue or Sally. It's not even a name that someone could use as their first name usually.
Wow.
It would have to be their family name or their middle name or something like that. So I always heard magical tales, bedtime stories about Africa growing up. And so then when my mom took me, when my younger brother graduated from high school, it was, a magical experience. It was nothing like what, the bedtime stories that she would tell me about magical licorice lions flying around and things like that. But it was, the earth is red, the humidity is encompassing, and the people, their compassion, generosity, openness, it opened my eyes to a different way of being. And I just, even after, it was my first time leaving the country, and it was wonderful to see someplace that was so different when on my first time leaving the country, coming from California, especially like Orange County at the time, and then going to somewhere that had such a different life experience, expectation, value system. People were expected to speak to one another. People were expected to greet one another, to see one another, to be present with one another. And it just really gave me, originally I felt a little bit bamboozled. Like I had been, especially growing up in Orange County, thinking the goal was to get wealth and have a nice car and have a middle-class life. And those were the things that were important in life. And there were kind, generous, open families. There was one that lived around the corner from where we were staying that they lived outdoors. But they had a family structure. Every morning when I walked by, they were having breakfast around a pot, kind of waking up, and they were just, kind of rinsing off and getting ready for work. And it's humid and warm out there, but it was people had a sense of self. And I don't want to give people the wrong impression, because there are definitely first world standard lifestyles in Africa, but incorporated in the fabric of their culture seems to be an obligation to care for one another. And it just felt like a different way of being. And so when I had the opportunity, I went back and went back and went back. So I've been to Togo and Ivory Coast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Morocco and South Africa. And so this was my second time going to South Africa. It was my opportunity to show my husband Africa for the first time. And then I also took a side trip to East Africa.
Yeah.
Now Rwanda is blowing everybody's mind. It's getting some international attention right now because it's come back from genocide, and now it's the way that they have healed the harm that was done in their society is something that I think can be modeled in America and all around the world where there's been harm and it needs to be healed. They are working so hard to build a sense of unity, and their middle class is growing and their education systems are developing and innovating. And I was there to look at one of their schools. I got an opportunity to see a school in South Africa, a village school. And then I also got an opportunity to visit an industrial government-funded program that's similar to what Vallejo Project does. So it's a vocational school, and the government gives it $26 million a year to run 8 programs, kind of training. There's from culinary to multimedia to trades. And so their focus is e-learning and understanding how to make sure that people who are learning remotely can fully engage in the experience of the tangible, practical training that needs to happen in a lot of those vocational applications, because access to the internet, access to servers, access to stable Wi-Fi is one of the challenges, that people, especially like during COVID when students had to work at home and things like that, it was not sustainable. So it's really exciting. We have an MOU now with the school there. Oh, wow. And so they're going to be overseeing some multimedia work that we're doing. It's just really, really exciting work. And I met an amazing artist that does some kind of cultural arts work that's similar to our vision and mission. And so hopefully we're going to be doing some workshops with him as well. So Great. It was a very productive trip.
That's amazing. And I think it's great to actually do, I think I really have to do boots on the ground exploration, because what we get here through the media is so disjointed and so biased in so many different ways. When you think of Africa here, I mean, it's still like either deepest, darkest jungles or just war. And that's all you hear about here in the mainstream media. And then you actually go there and you're like, wait a second, this is like here in many ways. I mean, there's the culture, there's, the history of it, but also, you're walking down streets that are almost like anywhere, any major city, and you go, what?
That's so important to say. There's such a big disconnect between the way that Africa is portrayed and, the images of starving children. And I mean, it's, it's just education, really. And it really, especially, whether it was Ghana back then, there are expatriates from America that have been living in Ghana since its origin. And a lot of people don't know that a lot of African Americans expatriated en masse in the 30s and 40s and to Liberia. And so it's an up and coming place, and people from Korea, they had donated a $5 million multimedia lab. Wow. And Japan and Germany are all investing, and America is now trying to also find a way in. And it's unfortunate. I've heard about a lot of people expatriating to Portugal and different places. And when you think of the opportunities and the fact that the global warming will not be as impactful in some of the African countries as well, it's just something to consider. And I just hope everyone gets an opportunity to check out the reality of how beautiful and how similar African lifestyle can be, and also in some ways, at least in my experience, how it can be even more enriching and more healing and healthy, at least emotionally and spiritually. They have a very sophisticated social structure. Way.
And in some ways, from my understanding, because of the troubles there over the late 20th century, and as these countries are renewing themselves, like you say in Rwanda, which, wow, it's a revelation to hear what's going on there. They've actually skipped over a lot of 20th century industrial development, and now are diving straight into 21st century with solar, with Starlink, with industries that are based on modern technology. And so they don't have to sort of retool everything like we have to do here in the States. They're just leaping straight into the latest technology, which is very, very interesting. I'm sure very interesting to see what's going on there with that.
It is really.
So when you were in South Africa, you mentioned that you actually went on to
Safari.
Yeah,
that was actually through the Vallejo Arts Fund. I went to one of their fundraisers, and if you ever get an opportunity to go to a fundraiser for the Vallejo, I'm not sure if it's Vallejo Arts Commission with Renee Conlon and or a Vallejo Art Fund. But if you get an opportunity, please support them. The work they do is amazing, and the events they throw are something else. I mean, they really, the themes, the networking, the food, they just get it right, and yeah, it was like the best $200 I spent. But then when we got there, we're drinking and having fun, and then there's an opportunity to go to South Africa. We knew we wanted to go to South Africa. We've been talking about it. We've been looking for tickets. And so we got these tickets, and we went on the safari, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah.
So was it like, you got into the Daktari type vehicle, and then you're going through, and there's the giraffes and lions?
It was like out of Jurassic Park in terms of, you're in this open van, they're driving crazy near these cliffs, they're bumping you around, and, you're with all these other eccentric people from around the world, and then there's a leopard, and and then it was really fun, and calling and seeing the way the animals interacted with each other. The elephants really don't like rhinos. So got to see a lot of clashes between those herds. And the elephants are big guys. You'd be surprised. Elephants often win, even with lions.
Wow.
They're like the king of the jungle, really. So it was wonderful, and being on the riverboats with the hippos, and
oh wow,
yeah, there are opportunities even to walk with the lions and walk with the elephants and things like that. So we didn't take up on that opportunity. Not quite. This is our first time around, so we took it nice and easy.
There you go.
But yeah.
Wow.
Good
That's
times.
like going down to Walking with the Lions reminds me of Swimming with the Sharks down in the Bermuda. They have you swim with the sharks, the nurse sharks. But still, I passed on that one. Well, wow. And it's great to know that knowledge and those connections that you made, you're bringing back home here to Vallejo and Vallejo Project to continue the work.
Yes. It was wonderful to just see what an international movement this is. From the Philippines to Africa to all over the world, people are looking at new ways for economic development, for autonomy, for self-sufficiency, for community, for accountability. And it's been wonderful to see that it's not just in Vallejo that we have these issues. I know a lot of people are feeling discouraged. There were another 5 shootings yesterday, and a young man lost his life again, and it's so hard to have hope in the face of violence and determination. But I really feel like that's something that African Americans bring, is like, despite slavery, despite police brutality, there's this sense of resilience and this sense of hope and optimism that American can be more than it is,
Yeah.
And I think, no one can ever count America out because of that, and because that throughout all of our different cultures, there is that make do, that resilience, that figure it out, that bounces us back. And so I just, I love traveling, and I also love being re-inspired to come home and see how we can apply it here.
Exactly. I think that the modern media is more divisive than anything else. It's so focused on dividing and opening up old wounds and saying, oh no, that this group doesn't like this group and this. It's like, what are you talking about? That's not what you see on the street. So young people, hear that, and that's all they know, and they think, well, there's no hope. I'm just gonna, roll into a life of crime, as we used to call it back in the old days. But when they hear stories of what's really happening, say in Africa, and like, what? It's like, what are you talking about? No, look at everything that's going on and all these opportunities. That's the type of education that's also needed, not just the traditional education, but community education to tell them what's really going on and inspire hope, because not just the junk that you see on mainstream media. Here's what's really going on, is all this amazing opportunity out there. And then their eyes open up and they go, really? I could be part of that? Yeah. You definitely can be part of that. And that's kind of the mission of Vallejo Project and other great organizations here in Vallejo and environs, to inspire and educate, not just in the traditional sense of reading, writing, arithmetic, but educate not only the youth.
Culture,
It's cultural education. It's like, this is what's really going on out there,
Yes, experiential, practical, project-based cultural education, absolutely.
And somebody who was into that back in the day, who was well known for his contribution to pop music and pop culture, actually dove into, especially the South African problems that were happening back in the day. He definitely took the combination of American pop music and African beats and rhythms, and that was our old boy there, Paul Simon, with his famous music, Graceland and Under African Skies.
Nice.
Joseph's face was black as night. The pale yellow moon shone in his eyes. His path was marked by the stars in the southern hemisphere, and he walked his days under Africa's skies. This is the story of how we begin to remember. This is the powerful pulsing of love in the vein. After the dream of falling and calling your name out, these are the roots of rhythm, and the roots of rhythm remain. In early memory, mission music was ringing around my nursery door. said, take this child, Lord, from Tucson, Arizona. Give her the wings to fly in harmony, and she won't bother you no more. This is the story of how we begin to remember. This is the powerful pulsing of love in the vein. After the dream of falling and calling your name out. These are the roots of rhythm, and the roots of rhythm remain. Ta ba boom ba boom ba oh. Ta ba boom ba boom ba oh. Ta ba boom ba boom ba oh. Joseph's face was as black as the night, and the pale yellow moon shone in his eyes. His path was marked by the stars in the southern hemisphere, and he walked the length of his days under African skies.
Oh, yeah. Little combo bombo there with Paul Simon from the old album Graceland, old now. We're getting oldie and moldy, but we're still making it happen here on Vallejo Project, 832, right here in Vallejo, California, 72 degrees out. And wherever you're headed this morning, whether it's downtown to the ferry, out to Marin, or points unknown. This is Vallejo Project Radio. DJ Hugh, man, along here with Adjoa, our fearless leader of Vallejo Project. And we're going to try and patch in a phone call here. We'll see if some of this technology from days gone by is going to work out for us.
Can you guys hear me? Well,
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, this is Adjoa McDonald. I'm a teacher at Hogan Middle School, founder of Vallejo Project, and I have on the line Dr. Mylene Rucker. I will let her introduce herself, but she has a long-standing commitment to community health, and she is currently patched in from South Carolina. So, Dr. Rucker, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, friends and family. What an honor to be on the phone from Aiken, South Carolina. I'm here visiting at a wonderful place that just happens to be one of my best friends, Linda, but it's so beautiful. It's like a retreat. She's refurbished an 1860s house, and it's so quaint and so beautiful, and she even went to England to get the long curtains with the long windows, and I just love it. I've been a doctor for about 40 years.
Dr. Rucker, is it possible to make sure that you're speaking right into the mic so that they can hear you?
Okay. I've been a physician for 40 years, and I was 32 years old when I got admitted. I'd wanted to be a doctor since I was 4 years old. So it was always a dream, but it was an unspoken dream, and then it got to be a spoken dream. And I never thought I could do it because I had kids in my youth, and I had almost given up, but I didn't give up. And my hope is resiliency, and my love for people is contagious. We're trying to start a free clinic on Azure, 1055 Azure, and we will be giving gift cards to people that are the first 50 people that will be coming. We're starting in August.
And then you're having an event on October 21st, right? You want people to save the date?
Yes, save the date for October 21st at Zio Griot's down by
Zio
the
Fredos,
water.
yes, Zio Fredos.
And it's going to be a luncheon to talk about women surviving breast cancers and other maladies. We're looking forward to it. The tickets are $50 a piece, but we're giving scholarships half off for breast cancer survivors and students with proper student ID. So Linda is a writer from over 40 years. and she's published a book, and she's written plays, and she's done some acting, and I just enjoy her creativity and her energy, and she's given retreats, and hopefully maybe we'll give one in the Bay Area sometime this decade. But she's written a poem, and I wanted to read the poem, if that's okay. Could you hear me okay?
Yes. Just, again, make sure your voice is going directly into the mic. But, yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
I'm holding it directly in. So we had started with a thought about being positive and having an attitude of gratitude, because we have worked with so many young people that don't realize that love, kindness, and gratitude are just as strong as hate and fighting and defending yourself. And we haven't finished. We just started this morning. But the poem I'm going to read you now is from a book that she's published, Psalms. It's called, okay. You want to read it?
Okay. Welcome, Linda.
And,
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's so good to be here. Okay. This one is just very short. It's called Walking is a Gift. The existence of legs is not proof you can walk. The only proof is arrival at a place you want to be. But who can walk right up to heaven? So few can walk that way, and fewer still walk it well. Not every person has been given a smooth and upright walk. Big effort and movement is no guarantee, because walking is a gift.
Thank you. That was beautiful. That is so...
And the name of the book is The Magic of Rachel and Reuben. It's a wonderful book, and it is published. And we've just been enjoying creative writing and concept development, and looking at things that can empower people to find a pleasant way to exist in this culture. We're in turbulent times, and many people, all they know is to fight, and we really believe that there is another way, but people have to be taught. So we're very interested in teaching people an alternative way to exist in this world.
That's exactly what we were talking about this morning, is community education, and each one teach one, and how it's a education about culture and education about how to practically live, how to take care of yourself, how to sustainably.
Yes, sustain. So this is the one we're working on today, the intelligence of gratitude, the power of gratitude even in dire times. As Mylene stated, we must first acknowledge those that participate in our gatherings are in pain and hurting, and that we do find marginalized people that negate the effects of positive thinking. Some had mothers who were disabled by circumstances that included addiction, be it crack, cocaine, or illness of mental or alcoholism. Some of them were abandoned, and the experiences that some of us may not be able to fully understand, but we open our hearts and minds to comprehend, to see how profitable and beneficial lingering and with gratitude. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Linda has another.
Okay, and I'll finish with a little more of it. It says, many times people feel if they're grateful and reduce their anger that they won't be able to survive. But there is a certain amount of strength that seems to come from anger. However, it's not a renewing strength for the physical being. Anger, too long, drains the physical body of strength. Perhaps understanding it is okay to let go of anger, even if but for a moment, to receive the energizing positivity that comes from other things, other emotions. Gratitude is one such positive emotion.
That is so true. That is so true. To find something to be thankful for. We were talking about that resilience and that optimism. Like Maya Angelou's book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, that, despite challenges, despite slavery, despite police brutality, there is a reason to wake up in the morning, to stay strong, to have hope, to believe in change, to keep facing another day with optimism and hope and resilience and the energy to fight and to change not the people but the spirit of evil, to change, to fight it with everything that you have.
Exactly. And as we were discussing, gratitude is a magical spiritual attribute that draws to us.
That's so true.
And it allows whatever goodness may be received from that thought or that expression of gratitude we may find in that moment, in that day. And that even if that gratitude is something so very small compared to the negatives that is in our lives, if that negative seems great in comparison to the little thing we can be grateful for, how much mightier is the weight and the value of our gratitude.
That's so true.
I've given gratitude for a cup that has become my friend, from which I can drink and have a familiar feeling, or a piece of paper that I can write down something I never want to forget, for a smile, if it's a real smile that comes from somebody that they gave me for free. I am thankful for the sun that gives light that comes every day, and I don't have to pay the electric company to be out of the dark. To be grateful when I can perceive that there are some people that are doing what they're doing because they see me, they value me, they want me to possess skills and tools for life. And that's what I've seen, those that are in your program. They're giving of themselves because they want the students or the children or the participants, they want to give them something that they can use in their lives to make it more the way they desire it to be.
That is so true about Vallejo Project. I feel seen. I feel like you see Vallejo Project. Thank you so much, Linda. I really thank you for your thoughts and your poems and your words, your healing words. We were talking about how 5 young people were shot yesterday, and 1 lost their life, and there's just been a lot of violence this summer. Yeah, in Vallejo yesterday. So it just really, just keep our community in prayer. Just like the rest of the world, we're going through transition, and we're in pain, and we're trying to heal. And so many different groups, whether it's Orlando's Boys and Girls Empowerment Group or Watch Me Grow from Jamila Hanif, we're coming together, Vallejo Project, working, finding ways to work together and do this work. There's people who've been doing it for years, Roy and Liat and Ascari, and just really hope that we will all collaborate with
Rob Reason. Don't forget Rob.
Oh, absolutely, Rob Reason, beautiful heart, soldier for
and Michael,
truth and justice.
Michael
Lewis,
Michael?
Rhonda Renfro, so many different amazing people, really committed to seeing change. Sustainable Solano. So, just amazing, amazing work being done in Thoreau University. And so, we've been playing some amazing music. Hugh is a professional DJ host. He really has experience doing this. It's a seamless show. It's really incredible. So we're going to get back to some music here. And thank you all for taking some time to talk to us and give your reflections about hope and healing and resilience in Vallejo and everywhere else. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. Remotely coming in there, some hope and some healing, and a big shout out to a lot of our folks here in Vallejo who are fighting the good fight. And now let's take a little moment to hear from some old friends, Peter Gabriel and the lovely Kate Bush. They are going to tell you, don't give up.
strong. We were wanted all along. I was taught to fight, taught to win. I never thought I could fail. No fight left, or so it seems. I am a man whose dreams have all deserted. I've changed my face, I've changed my name, but no one wants you when you lose.
Don't give up, 'cause you have friends. Don't give up, you're not beaten yet. Don't give up, I know you can make it good.
Though I saw it all around, never thought that I could be a faintant. Thought that we'd be last to go. It is so strange the way things turn. Drove the night toward my home, the place that I was born, on the lakeside. As daylight broke, I saw the earth. The trees had burned down to the ground.
Don't give up, you still have us. Don't give up, we don't need much of anything. Don't give up, 'cause somewhere there's a place where we belong. Rest your head, you worry too much. It's gonna be alright. When times get rough, you can fall back on us.
Don't Give Up. Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush. If you're a prog rock aficionado, you know that Dave Gilmour from Pink Floyd used to produce Kate Bush back in the day. So let's not give up. Just to keep on hustling out there. Just talking to Adjoa about a program she's working with about training to be a
community health worker.
Right, which is pretty amazing. And in a nutshell, that training is?
So Thoreau University is collaborating with, I think, a state grant that was written by Sarah Schweitzer. And it is an opportunity for community activists, volunteers to get paid by the state to step in to the gap that happens between healthcare providers and patients, to make sure that they're being understood, that their needs are articulated, that they have someone who will walk them through the often complicated steps to get service in our country. And so it's a really great opportunity. This is actually, they're currently collecting people who are interested in becoming a community health worker for the fall. And it's a stipended program. And it is such a need, and it's so in line with the pillars of communication and skills and trades and wellness. So I truly, this is exactly, I'm hoping that we can help prepare some future healthcare workers and just encourage them, young people, to have that ladder right out of high school or even in their junior year of high school. So if you have a junior, please have them give me a call at 559-750-1420. We have paid, and what is more exciting is the unpaid internships. If you have the capacity to do an unpaid internship with Vallejo Project, there is so much you can learn. But again, my number is 559-750-1420. If you have a junior in high school that you would like to do an internship with Vallejo Project, please give me a call. And our main line is 707-534-8189. I'm extension 2. Thank you.
And the amazing thing about that particular avenue of employment is that, in my understanding, it's more like a health advocate between the medical professionals and the patient. And I was just relaying how I'm in that position with my mom, who back in Jersey had cracked her hip, had 3 pins put in. And I have been the liaison between the medical staff, her doctor, and her, the patient, in order to interpret what's going on so that she understands what the medical professionals are telling her. Also to do the research to be able to intelligently talk between her and the medical professionals. Because when you're in a dire strait, when you're not well and you're not being able to really comprehend or wrap your head around everything that you need in order to get the most out of the medical care that you can get. And the doctors and staff that you're dealing with,
they don't have the time.
They don't have time.
Or the capacity often with, a lot of the burnout, just, compassion burnout. With COVID and this and that, people left the field, It's critical to have someone in between, have an advocate, have a buddy, a partner, someone that can walk with you through the challenges.
And to have that as an actual up-and-coming profession, something that young people can move into is just extraordinary, because it's that that bridge between it's part of the medical field, but it's also part of counseling, but it's also part of community.
Yeah,
and that's the trick.
Yeah, we got to think they're doing something right, Governor Newsom. Thank you. There's some good things going on, and so I just have to say, it's really been hard, and I know a lot of people are struggling, and we're all trying to make a way out of no way and save our money and stay sane, and there are resources out there. And if you're not sure where to look for resources, reach out to your neighborhood collaborators and movers and shakers and people that may be able to help point you in the direction of a resource. And I'd like to offer Vallejo Project as one of those places that you might reach out to for information on getting further resources. Of course, the city of Vallejo, the county of Solano, really, those are the places where the actual resources lie, but it can often be difficult to navigate those entities, those public entities, because of, bureaucracy and it's just there's changing staff and things like that. So make use of your nonprofits, make use of your public figures.
Make use of your government. That's one thing that has been lacking, is that there's no civics courses in schools anymore. The kids grow up, they have no idea what the resources are. And, just even here in Vallejo itself, I mean, you can go down to the city council meetings, you can meet with your city councilman. They're usually people that you know, people that you've met down there at Farmers Market.
Yeah.
Get to know the who's and what's and people to talk to. We have a new economic development person down there. Some of our cohorts that we've worked with here in Vallejo Project are now also working with a downtown project, which is nationwide. Main Street
Yeah,
program.
so exciting.
So, I mean, that's where you dovetail community activism with commercial activism in a way that you're helping to develop new businesses.
That's right.
In a downtown area that certainly deserves to come up. So, I mean, there's lots of angles and lots of approaches. I think it's just the lack of awareness.
That's right.
That, your elected,
You can do something.
Your elected officials are, your elected officials. They're there to help
That's
you,
right.
the citizen. And being a citizen is a responsibility.
That's right.
why the type of government that we've developed over the years here is an example of, you can't just rely on people to do things for you. You have to participate.
That's right. And with the districts, it makes it so much more accessible. You can know, like I'm in District 6, Tina Ariola. You can, you can engage with them. You can reach out to them. You can get them on the phone. You can send them an email. And their responsiveness gets feedback from you. Then you decide whether to support or not support. Next year is a voting year. We're ready to pull in new people or push out old people who are not being effective in your area. So get engaged, vote. This is a big year coming up, so it's really important to stay engaged.
Stay engaged. And we're staying engaged here on Vallejo Project, 89.5 FM, KZCT, OzCat Radio. We're coming up on 9 o'clock. And the OzCat cat is here, dancing around the studio, flipping around on the board and making all sorts of stuff happen, just like it should be here on OzCat Radio here in Vallejo. So one other thing is that music, of course, is a big deal here in Vallejo. In fact, I was just out in Richmond. I was out there staying at Richmond Point, and a big shout out to the folks out there, and they have some very interesting stuff happening in their downtown in Richmond. Small community, also a community built around the piers from back in the day, and a very, very active port city as well. Lots of industry happening out there. And we were at the Baltic Kiss, which is a little pub out there, very famous, very historical, right there in downtown Point Richmond. And a dear friend of mine, Yvonne, was out there at the open mic, and she is a veteran of George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. She's been a backup singer for him over the years. So she got up there on the mic with her little Mr. Microphone recording and gave us a couple renditions of her favorites, including one of our big favorites from the famous George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh, my God.
So let's kick off the 9 o'clock hour with a little bit of George Clinton, and let's get funky.
Off, we gonna tether off the mother sucker, tether off the sucker. Tether off, we gonna tether off the mother sucker, tether off the sucker. Tether off, we gonna tether off the mother sucker, tether off the sucker. Tether off, we gonna tether off the mother sucker, tether off the sucker.
Rev up the funk, my kids out there. Okay. And George Clinton in the original Funkadelic with our good friend Bootsy Collins, who's actually been on the show several times in the past on the old Reality Check TV. We had some of the Reality Check kids in the house in Richmond just the other day for a little birthday party for yours truly. We had some fun out there on Saturday with a lot of the Reality Check alumni came out to play for my big birthday. I won't tell you how old I was or am, but it was a good old time. And speaking of good old times, you can have some good old times right here in Vallejo coming up in September. What could I be talking about? It's the Dock of the Bay Music Festival with some of the old school favorites. Speaking of old school funk fest, we got Morris Day and the Time, Con Function, Average White Band, and Cold Blood with Linda Pence. And then on that Sunday, September 10th, the California Honey Drops, Fantastic Negrito, Monophonics, and the Altons. I'll tell you, it's a slam bam weekend of fun. And it's right here in Vallejo, right across the river. Just go across that little bridge and Dock of the Bay Festival by our good friends who are putting that on. Fraser Traeger, sponsored by Mare Island Company, San Francisco Ferry, and a bunch of other good friends here in town. They often have booths, bands. Obviously, they have food there. And, of course, the brewing company is there for all of your imbibing desires. So be sure to check that out. You can buy tickets now. And you'll be supporting music here in Vallejo, especially old school funk with one of the stars of that show, the Average White Band. Not so average. Help you pick up those pieces.
I'm here to talk about health, how to live long and be your very best self. Everybody likes money and dreams of wealth, but can you really enjoy it if you're not in good health? Vallejo Project has some tools for you. They're going to bring some information to your school for you to help you stay strong and keep your mind well. Show you what to eat so your bones won't be frail. You can stay fit and keep your mind right with the best food and exercises like yoga, jogging, leafy greens, and protein. Don't worry, they're going to teach you everything. So stay tuned till we meet again. Have an awesome day and be well, my friends. Stay uplifted. This is Miss Arnold. Take care.
That's right. Vallejo Project is wishing you good health as you pick up the pieces and get moving. Average White Band from their famous cut. Before that, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. And shout out once again to Yvonne, who was there at the Baltic Kiss last night, ripping it up with her tunes. One of our friends who was actually a backup singer for Parliament Funkadelic back in the day and still continues to rip it up out there for all you kids in Funkadelic land. Well, Vallejo Project, Adjoa has just left the building. She was here for the first hour. And great information about her travels and about what Vallejo Project is doing lately, and a great new career path that's developing out there for youth or for anyone who's looking for a new career path as a health advocate to work between the health professionals and patients. A lot of great stuff happening like that, especially with Vallejo Project, where once again we want to give a notification out there to the community about our carpentry program that's coming up. It's going to be starting up again next month in August, where anyone who's high school age all the way up to age 25, 26, if you're interested in a career path in carpentry, Vallejo Project offers a 2 to 3 week course in basic carpentry skills. And that's everything from how to use a tape measure to which end of the hammer to hold to proper shoes to buy to be out on the job, all the basics, time management, resume writing, to get you up to speed, to then, if you pass through our 3-week course of preliminary skills, you immediately graduate to working with Local 180 Carpenters Union training program, their apprenticeship program, a paid apprenticeship program, where you can go to one of the facilities that the Carpentry Union offers. I'm familiar with the one there in Pleasanton. I know there are several in the Bay Area, where you can get comprehensive carpentry and construction training. And when you develop those skills, they have a job placement program. You get certified. You are now part of the union. And you can sometimes get immediate placement in jobs that pay very, very well. You also end up having funds being put into your retirement program, health program. There are construction firms that are desperate for skilled workers. Right across the river, right here in Vallejo, we have Factory iOS, which is a very, very interesting model for constructing commercial buildings as far as apartments go. They build somewhat duplicated units right there on site. So an entire apartment will be built about the size of a double-wide trailer, and everything is in that unit. Your living room, dining room, kitchen, all the plumbing, all the electrics, all the appliances. And now these units, or these pods, if you will, are sent on flatbeds, and then they are simply raised up by crane and inserted into a concrete structure where those apartments are simply locked right in, just like we have going on here, right here in Vallejo, right on Sacramento Street. Just go, if you're going up Tennessee and you're heading toward the island, just make a right, go down Sacramento, and you'll see one of these apartment buildings that have been constructed using that modular technology. So we have 21st century construction techniques being used right here in Vallejo, right under your nose. There's so much of that going on here in Vallejo that's happening right under your nose that you need to get out there in the community and find out about. Just like we were talking about earlier with Adjoa, you've got resources all over the place. You just need to be led to those resources. And much like the advocacy career path that's being developed for the medical world, a liaison between the medical professionals and the patients, Vallejo Project works as your liaison between government, nonprofits, job opportunities, and you, the community member. So be sure to reach out to vallejoproject.org to find out more about what we're doing and how you can participate, either as someone who can gain from the help that we provide or participate as someone to be that help provider. One of the things that the Vallejo Project is all about is getting professionals together, a diverse team of educators, artists, and community advocates dedicated to helping to engage our diverse Vallejo community. We want to uplift those affected by poverty, oppression, and institutionalized problems by providing resources that unite the community. As a result, Vallejo Project aim is to be a positive influence on policies ranging from housing, budgeting, and management for the city of Vallejo. And as we were saying, reach out to your local representatives. They're there for you, and some of them might be your friends, people that you know from the community. And they stepped up to run for something like, the community advocates here for you, and they're here to help you. So make that phone call, check out stuff on the interwebs for the city of Vallejo, find out who your representatives are, and reach out to them. They're waiting to hear from you. Now, as we switch over to some other topics, very sad note that I'm giving a posthumous and shout out to the heavens to my cousin Christopher Bradley Niederauer, who on July 1st, very sadly, was riding his e-bike to work and was going across a crosswalk. He had the light and unfortunately got struck by a truck. And sadly, because of his injuries, he passed away 3 days later. Very shocking and sad loss for my family, indeed. So for all you folks out there that are bicycle riders, e-bike riders, even motorcyclists, mind your P's and Q's out there. Keep aware of your surroundings. And especially when you get to intersections and crosswalks, don't assume that the traffic's going to stop for you. You may have the right of way, but if there's ever a conflagration between you on the bicycle and the vehicle's going to win every time. So be mindful out there as you're using that pedal power, because we want you all to be safe and we all want you to stick around. But, blessings and shout out to my cousin Chris, wherever he is. I'm sure he's looking down on us right now and giving us blessings from above. And always remember, no matter what happens, no matter where you're heading and where your life leads you, the next step is always a good step. So don't fear the reaper.
Do the wind
fever, and there's only one cure. You gotta love those cats, Blue Oyster Cult. I've been following them since the 70s, since I was a kid. And according to their website, they're on tour forever. So unlike a lot of acts from the 70s who are doing their final tours, Blue BOC is on tour forever. So you gotta love that. Right here on OzCat Radio, 89.5 FM, KZCT. Right here in fabulous Vallejo, California. And I want to give a shout out to my lovely fiance, Dana, who was here last week, giving a shout out to a choral festival that just wrapped up last weekend. It was a competition between international children's and youth choir groups. So choir music may not be something that's well known here in the States. Maybe you think of choirs, you think of what you'd see at church, but choir and choral music is huge in Europe, especially in Eastern Europe. And some of the acts that they had competing were unbelievable. The vocal techniques, the harmonies, even the choreography was quite spectacular, and they had their finals this weekend for the competition. And it was a great way for young people to travel the world, see sights, meet new people, stay with families from different cultures. Real cross-cultural experience for the youth and for conductors and composers who actually participated in. And Dana, my beloved, she was a host family and hosted students from South Korea, from Norway, from Eastern Europe. And it was a real beautiful cross-cultural experience. So once again, something to look up, choral music and choral music competitions there. Google that on the interwebs. Once again, more community-based activities which bring people together of diverse cultures and that you too can participate in. And one thing that we participated in last weekend was my birthday celebration with a lot of my close friends. And one close friend, Shelly, just sent me a text and she says, I hope you have time in your busy schedule to spend time with your beloved and do some dancing in the moonlight. So dedication to Dana, dancing in the moonlight.
We get it almost every night, and when that moon gets so big and bright, it's supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight, dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. We like our fun and we never fight. You can't dance and stay uptight. It's supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight, dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody here is out of sight. They don't bark and they don't bite. They keep things loose, they keep things alive. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody's dancing
what you love, what you have, what you love. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know. You'll know. You will know.
A little dedication to my beloved Dana out there in the world. She's out running around Bay Area today. She's a vocal teacher and does a lot of community work as well. Right here on 89.5 FM, KZCT OzCat Radio. The OzCat cat, him or herself, was right here dancing all over the board earlier this morning. While we had Adjoa McDonald, our fearless leader of Vallejo Project here, giving us the rundown on her recent adventures and travels in Africa and what she was doing out there, safari, as well as making connections with some very interesting projects that are going on that parallel what we're doing here in Vallejo Project right here in Vallejo, California. Perhaps a sister city collaboration is in the works. We'll have to see. And we also had Mylene Rucker on the line all the way from South Carolina, where she is visiting friends and giving us some tips and insight into wellness and community right there on the phone, right here on Vallejo Project. And if you want to find out more about what Vallejo Projects is doing here in the community and elsewhere, just go to vallejoproject.org and find out more about how you too can participate here. We've got a lot of things happening, starting up again in August of this year. Coming right up, we have our carpentry program coming up for carpentry training for anyone between the ages of, say, 15 all the way up to 26 to get preliminary carpentry training that leads to a career, which would be helped by the local Carpenters Union, where you can dovetail into their apprenticeship program. We also have our continuing free guitar lessons and free music lessons, which will be starting up again in August. Our guitar teacher, Kyle, will be here next week to give you some information on that right here on Vallejo Project, right here on the radio station. But we give free guitar, drum, and piano lessons to youth here in Vallejo. They're absolutely free. And we will very soon on the interwebs on our website have a means to sign up for that. But you can always get a hold of us directly to find out more about those programs. Once again, those are entirely free. So it's great if you have a young person in your home that's interested in doing some music and don't necessarily have the funds to get lessons going for them. At least this way, they can dip their toes in it, get some preliminary musical training, and see if they even like it. You know, you might as well. If since it's community-based and at no cost to you, the radio listener, get your kids interested in an instrument and see if they like it. And if they start blossoming, you can keep on with our Vallejo Project teachers or then move them over to lessons such as down at Community Music. And our good friends right down the street here who have a local music shop, guitars, guitars, drums, and lessons, and a full studio. So keep in mind, you've got a lot of resources here, right here in the Vallejo community that you may not realize. So, community music right there on Tennessee. Check them out. Tell them Huge sent you. And one of the many community-based and local resources that you have right here in Vallejo. And we've got a lot of Vallejo-based artists and musicians that have come from this area. A lot of advocacy. And advocacy from, interestingly, historically in the musical scene, from avenues that you may not really consider out there. One of the things that we did was we had the gathering of the Reality Check crew over the weekend. Reality Check was my community-based television program that's been running for about 30 years, where we have highlighted local and national acts, especially musical and artistic endeavors based here in the Bay Area. Cavalcade of stars, both known and unknown, have graced the camera of Reality Check TV. And one thing you might not know is that one very famous name that you would know, our good friend Ozzy Osbourne. You may not consider him a advocate, but if you really take a listen to a lot of Black Sabbath and a lot of his solo songs, a lot of them have to deal with anti-war, peace, contemplations on the state of the world, contemplations on his place in the world. So by artistically creating songs, your place in the world, and where do you find yourself in their tumultuous times that we sometimes find ourselves in, and how does one cope and wrap one's head around what's going on, in their community and in your own lives, which is something that Vallejo Project is always looking to figure out. And one was interesting, that back in the day when he was doing his solo albums, he actually collaborated with another good friend of ours from the Reality Check days, Mr. Ian Kilmister, better known to the folks out there as Lemmy, who co-wrote a lot of songs from the No More Tears album. And here's one where Ozzy kind of contemplates about what he has tried to do over the years to bring enlightenment to people, but maybe in a moment of reflective contemplation thought maybe that he would not want to be one to change the world. Co-written by Lemmy himself. A little tune here on 89.5 FM, KZCT.
Thank
teacher. Segregation, determination, demonstration, integration, aggravation, humiliation, obligation to my nation. Oh, yeah. That's what the world is today. Hey, hey. The sale of pills are at an all-time high. Young folks walking around with their heads in the sky. Cities aflame in the summertime. And the beat goes on. Well. Now listen. Evolution, revolution, gun control the sound of soul. Shooting rockets to the moon, kids growing up too soon. Politicians say more taxes will solve everything.
And the band played on.
Inspectors, bill collectors, hardcore Indian man, population out of hand. Suicide, too many bills, hippies moving to the hill. People all over the world are shouting in the war.
And the band played on.
Hear me talking to you, it's a ball of the music. Let me hear, let me hear you, let me hear you. crashing down. God knows they go crashing down. God knows they go crashing down.
Oh, yes, those sons of alien technology. The dominoes go crashing down. Before that, The Temptations, A Ball of Confusion. And prior to that, Ozzy Osbourne, I Don't Want to Change the World. I thought on that track, I may have heard Lem in the background singing some backup vocals with Oz. Right here on 89.5 FM, KZCT, OzCat Radio. This has been Vallejo Project, giving you all the insight on what you can be doing to participate right here in the Vallejo community. And don't give up hope, even though we are in a ball of confusion. And you can't tell what the media is telling you. You can participate and make change in this community. And by starting right here, grassroots in Vallejo, you too can change the world. This is DJ Hugh Mann, also part of Vallejo Project right here on 89.5 FM KZDT at 9:56 on a Tuesday. We're getting ready to wrap things up here on Vallejo Project, but be sure to tune in again next week on our morning time slot, 8 to 10 on Tuesdays. Next week we're going to have Kyle, one of our guitar instructors and a musician in his own right, coming here to man the microphone along with Adjoa McDonald, our fearless leader. And we also have our budding new radio DJ, Sydney, who co-hosted last week, and she's actually getting her own time slot coming up in August. So Vallejo Project is taking over and bringing you news and views, music, tunes, enlightenment, laughs, fun, and a little bit of something for your day and soon to be evening. Right here on OzCat Radio, your community-based radio station. And be sure to support OzCat any way you can. Support those who support us here on the station. And let's keep community-based entertainment and information going and flowing. Once again, DJ Hugh Mann right here on the airwaves. And we're looking forward to coming at you in a couple of weeks. I'll be out and about traveling, doing my advocacy work for my mom as I interface between her and her healthcare providers as she gets up and about from her hip surgery and getting mobile again. And also I'll be in New York City for a premiere, not a premiere, but a screening of my old documentary film, Mall City, featuring the fabulous original raw tones from Hargrovia. And we'll tell you all about that next time. But yeah, check out Mall City. Google that and see what that's all about. There's going to be some screenings in New York on April 2nd and 11th, right down in the Lower East Side at the Archive Film Festival. In the meantime, always lots going on here in Vallejo. Be sure to go down to the farmers market on Saturday morning, and you might run into some Vallejo Project folk who can give you the update on how you too can participate in the community right here in your own hometown. This is Vallejo Project right here on OzCat Radio, and we're going to leave you with another little project that I have my finger in. Some proto-post-punk rock and roll. It's the King O' Meat. Yes, the King is out there doing his job for God and country. And in this little tune, the King is out there. The King O' Meat is a character unto himself. The King and his split personalities take on hipsters, hoodlums, and go-go chicks to save the hot rod shop. Thrills, chills, and drive-in freaky fun. It's a fun fest for all. If you're a fan of B-movies from the 60s, be sure to join the King as he takes you on a journey to experience the 10-finger stink. This is Hugh Mann. I'm out of here, and we'll leave you with the King right here on 89.5 FM, KZCT, OzCat Radio.
Just riding off to the creep show, gonna get me some fun. Got a Chuck Norris punch on my fingertips and karate chop. It's the freak of the week and a notch on my crotch. 8 days a week, it's a 10-finger stink. You're gonna get all your dance pulled and super shine when you're rolling my shop. Smells like fish, stick and tastes like banana, finger licking good. It's a freak of the week and a notch on my crotch. 8 days a week, it's a 10-finger stink. Monday is Barbara and Tuesday is Betty. Wednesday is Wednesday, you better get ready, cause Thursday is Sheila, Friday is Sheena, Saturday is every day, and Big Brother Sunday. I ain't no lipstick lesbian, gonna get all I can. Little engine that could got it super bad. Baby, here I come. I'm the freak of the week. You're a notch on my crotch. 8 days a week. It's a 10-finger stink. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
89.5 FM KZCT.